Hey friends. I I've been wrestling with something to do with this video post that I'm still wrestling with it, if you can't tell. And there have been, this is I started this post 2 years ago almost. It'll be 2 years on January 4th. And and that means that the I I started it really not knowing what it was going to be. I mean, how could I possibly know what it was going to be like to do a post every single day for a year? There was no way of knowing. All I knew was I wanted to pick a timeline that was long enough that I wasn't really counting the time. In other words, if I said that I was going to do this for 1 month, then very quickly I could get to a countdown where it felt like, oh, okay, 15 more days, 10 more days, whatever, 20 more days. It would feel like a timeline where I could see the end pretty swiftly upon beginning. And I didn't really want that. I wanted to start the practice and feel like I'm just going to be doing this forever, for the foreseeable future. Because a year is long enough that when you start something like this, 364 more days, it's like abstract. It's an abstract amount of time. There's no, and yes, of course, eventually I got to the point where I could count down, 3 more months, 2 more months, 1 more month. Got to the end, and of course, I just cruised right on through and kept on doing it for another entire year. Really, with no clear sense of when or even whether I was going to end the post, when I was going to stop doing this. But I've recently begun to consider the question, what is this about for me? And I can point to an insane amount of value that I'm deriving, that I have derived, and that I continue to derive every single day from doing this literally every single day for the last 710 days, I think. Today is 710. That's a pretty remarkable string of, that's a pretty solid track record for a practice like this. And what has and over and over again I have the experience of showing up, and obviously over the course of 710 days, there's going to be days when I show up and I feel like I really have a very solid grasp of what I'm doing, and I show up some days with much less of a grasp of what I'm doing, much less of a preconceived sense of what I want to say. But the practice has been to connect, to psychically come to a place where I'm in a place of what I would call faith, for lack of a better word, not faith in some religious thing or deity or anything like that. Just a sense of I'm in the right place. Whatever is coming through is the right thing to come through. And I believe this post has begun to, it's shown me any number of times that sometimes what's coming through has nothing to do with me. Somebody will watch the post and then send me a message and say, "Oh my God, I know why you were talking about blah blah blah. It's because I desperately needed to hear this, or it shaped something for me." And that's of course the most amazing feeling ever when I can feel like, oh, okay, this is of service. This isn't just me talking about my ideas. There's a larger, I'm hooked into something. I'm tapped into something with this. But I have begun to wonder whether this practice, I would never at this point give up this practice without replacing it with something else. And it's that question, like what is there a next step to this? Because I certainly feel as though the material I've created, which by and large, I've seen almost none of it, going over it and revisiting it and really reflecting on what has come through me over the past almost 2 years could be a phenomenal. There could be revelations hidden in here that I have that have sort of, maybe they've even emerged from time to time, but I haven't fully crystallized them. Or there could be revelations that I find that I have no idea about. There could be brand new messages waiting for me. But that would require some reflection. It would require engaging with my own material for a while. And I wonder sometimes, is that the next step? Is that what this is building to? Because the outgrowth of that might be another form of also extemporaneous, also spontaneous output, but with more clarity about the underlying intention. Whereas this post has really been almost trying to cast a net around myself, not like a restrictive net, but like a net to capture what is trying to come through me and have some reference points, have a way of witnessing that. And I've done a lot of capturing now, but I haven't done hardly any witnessing. And so that's where I am right now about the post. I think I see the 2-year anniversary coming on January 4th. And I want to evaluate what this is really about, because I'm not convinced that I won't keep going. But I also have to admit to myself that at this point it would take tremendous courage to stop. Because it took tremendous courage to begin this practice, because I had no idea what I was getting into. I said I'm going to record a video post every day for the next year and post it online. I had no idea what I was doing, what I was saying. But now I know what that's about. And I know a lot about how I respond to that challenge and how what comes through me under those conditions. But stopping would mean admitting that there's a next step and that I have to actually take it. And it might mean, I'm not sure this is true, but it might mean that continuing is actually avoiding that next step. At least continuing in this form. So I'm just trying to keep myself honest here and really be honest with myself. What's going on here? What am I doing? What is this about? What is my intention? And let myself not run from those questions by simply asserting the value of the practice and all the benefit, all the amazing sort of experiences I have, because I can tell that there's a part of me that is actually craving a form of development that's not currently occurring. And that might mean getting out of my comfort zone in some ways. It might mean facing some fears that I'm not currently, that this post is no longer bringing me into contact with. Just some elements of some important elements that that right now I'm sort of keeping at bay because I have this practice and it's amazingly valuable and it's blah, 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 blah. So just putting that out there because I think as the second year of this post sort of gets near, I want to be really intentional. I want to be intentional. I want to be conscious. I want to be honest with myself. And hopefully be on the cusp of discovering something amazingly exciting and inspiring that utilizes everything I've learned from this experience and takes it up a level. So that's where I'm at today. I wanted to share this with you because you're the people who have been part of this journey with me. So, as always, I appreciate you. Much, much love. Thank you for watching. And I'll see you soon.